I somehow thought that it would be easy to just come on and talk about what was going on, how I've been feeling, what I've been doing, all the things. And I ended up looking for some questions, like some journal prompts, some ways to sort of segue in and answer different questions, because I thought that that would make for good conversation topics rather than for me to just start like blabbing about what I'm feeling like. But what's weird is like the first question said, what emotions have surfaced for me as I approach the 2-year mark of loss? And I haven't actually sat with that yet and been in it to really feel the feels of what's feeling, if that makes sense. But I am a firm believer in the idea that the body keeps the score. And I believe that around the time of anniversaries and of upcoming important dates, things can really start to feel off. Like there's just something about the time and the space as the body sort of recalls and remembers the timing that we start to feel a certain way. I guess if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. It makes sense to me. And so with that being said, in 2 days, 9 years ago, I was getting married. The 17th is what would have been my 9-year wedding anniversary. And who knows, because at the rate that we were going toward the end of his life, it potentially would not have even been being celebrated as an anniversary. But I can't say that because I don't know. All I can speak on is what it is. When I think about that, and as like pictures have started coming back up in my memories on Facebook of my bachelorette party and of the different events and things that I was posting leading up to the wedding, it kind of just puts me in this place that feels like, damn, like this was once my life. It existed. Like this was once a life that I lived. Like for those of you that have been visiting this channel for any number of time, like the old house, the DIY decor, right? Like all the drama in the backyard, trying to landscape and whatever, the garden I was trying, like all of these things, like these were my life. And it's weird because it feels like it seems so far out of reach, but it just wasn't even that long ago. So when I think about it, it's like, it feels like, it's like a gut punch. It's like a gut punch every time. It just feels like, damn, literally everything has changed. Nothing is the same. Even as I look at the kids, like, and they're growing and they just keep on growing. So like there's these, so I feel like there's this big gap in time where like I've been here, but I've missed it, even though it's right in front of me. And that never feels good. That never feels good to look around you and go, wow, like I've been right here, but I missed everything, or at least it feels like I missed everything. I noticed that in the last little bit, I've started to feel really like anxious again to get things going, to get things moving, to get things done. Like I have to be somewhere, and then feeling this extreme sense of frustration around the fact that it still just feels like standing still. Learning to be in a space of grace is not easy. And it's not to say that I just have like these major super high expectations of myself, but I just feel like things were supposed to be so different. Curveballs. Learning to maneuver a curveball. That's what it feels like. I also once said that I feel like I'm cocooning. Like I'm not exactly there, but I haven't arrived really at anything. So it's like a cocoon. I'm just in there, in the process of whatever is supposed to be becoming. And you can't see it because in the cocoon, it's hidden. It's dark. You can't see what's going on the inside. There's a metamorphosis taking place, but you can't see it. You can't see it. But it's happening. And so that's kind of like what this time feels like right now. And that's a little bit scary because how long does metamorphosis take? Like how long does the process of cocooning take? You know? You could be in there for a long time. It's just different. Everything is different. I'm starting to feel more anxious a little bit and easily aggravated and annoyed. And I think that's how I can always tell that, like, all right, you need to take a step back and it's probably time to rest or find something else to do because everything is on my nerves. But finding space to rest is hard when there's also that internal feeling of feeling like you need to go, go, go. And like things need to be moving and stuff needs to be done. That there's no time to stop and rest. Except the truth is, I think that I believe that that's the most important step. Slowing down, listening, observing, being in the feminine, being in your yin energy, being receptive, listening. Not active, but passive, paying attention. So there's always this internal conflict of how do you be passive? How do you sit in receptivity? How do you listen when there's so much that seems like it needs to be done? So hopefully I can try, and I'm going to try, to sit in that receptivity, to be in that feminine space, to invite and incorporate more breath work and more silence and stillness and more moments of quiet and of, it's almost like I feel like I want to say relaxation, but that's not what I mean. Not so much relaxation, like luxury relaxing, but just being receptive, being still, so that I can hear what the next steps are. I know that we're coming up into the timing. and I haven't been giving it a whole lot of thought. I don't have any plans right now for anything. The only thing that I know is that we said a long time ago that we wanted to create experiences with our kids and do things during the holidays, and see more and invite that in. You know, we always talked about like taking trips for this cold season, the holiday seasons, you know, going to do stuff, staying somewhere for Christmas. Last year we did an Airbnb for Thanksgiving and we really enjoyed it. And I said last year, you know, we should do it again. And so I think like the biggest thing that I'm just thinking about right now is like, where are we gonna stay? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna eat? What's gonna be our menu, you know? And that to me feels like a break away from just everything, where we can just be. And sadly, it shows up at a time where, you know, maybe we should be around other family, but it just feels different. And I don't expect anybody to understand that, like, everything just feels different. So approaching and leading up to this marker of 2 years, my anxiety today is low, but my irritability is starting to climb. Like, the way that things are starting to feel like they're coming down on me, there's like a sense of overwhelm. There's a sense of pressure, just a lot. It feels like a lot. And like I mentioned before, you think about that and it's like, dang, wow, it's been 2 years. Where has time gone? And then there's this whole other side of the coin that feels like, yo, it's been 2 years. And what has happened with the time? What have I done with the time? Like, grief work is such a powerful work, because like in the behind the scenes, like internally, like on the inside, so many things have been done. And so maybe that's what I will do next time, is hold space for like all of the things that have been done so far, all of the things that have been accomplished. And one could say that getting up and getting dressed and showing up for life is a big accomplishment in and of itself. And it is. No matter how like minuscule that might seem to the average person. I find that in this journey, so many things that make sense for me may not make sense to anybody else. And I've also found so much like solace and community in the people that I have met along the way in this, who are understanding and validating of this experience, because they are also in these trenches too. So anxiety's okay, irritability is on a 10, and I'm just kind of reflecting, trying to reflect in a more positive way than reflecting in a way that still feels really sad. And it does still feel really sad. Like, it definitely still feels really sad. But I've also been able to talk about and share things that have left a smile and that have felt like positive and happy to talk about too. So I will continue to answer this question and evaluate how I'm doing and how I'm feeling with this one particular question as the days go on and as I get closer. So if anybody is experiencing their own grief process and is approaching anniversaries or even just leading in and approaching into this holiday season, let me know how you're feeling. Drop a comment below. Let's create a conversation around how we're doing and get those feelings out. I find that dialogue is really helpful, and maybe sitting and being with and thinking and then expressing in words or through writing how you are doing approaching the holiday season or approaching your anniversaries can be helpful or beneficial to you. I thank you guys for listening to me and for hearing me rant and chat, and really for just being a witness to this process for me. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.